Well, the Philippine Embassy there in India is closed until May 17th because of the lockdown, but it is offering assistance remotely and keeping in touch with the Filipino community there. Let's now go above and beyond the headlines with Philippine Ambassador to India, Ramon Bagatsing Jr. Good evening, Mr. Ambassador, and thank you very much for joining us. We hope you are doing well. Like we said, sir, the Philippine Embassy there is closed, and that is why you are joining us from your. Are you home, sir, or are you in the embassy?
I am in the embassy. This is a compound. The embassy and the residence is in the same area.
I see. Okay. Well, Mr. Ambassador, let's begin with this. Kamusta po ang staff ng Philippine Embassy, both the Filipino nationals and the Indian nationals?
Well, we are all working from home because of the lockdown imposed by the Delhi government, and also as a precaution for our health, no, and safety. So everybody is staying at home. We're very, very careful that we do not expose ourselves unnecessarily to what is happening outside.
Can you briefly tell us, sir, what are the health protocols there in New Delhi in India? Here, we're required when outside, we're required to wear masks, face shields. There is physical distancing, etc.
Well, yes, definitely. The usual COVID protocols that started out last year is still very much in place. Most of the commercial establishments are closed. They have a curfew, and they only allow those who have essential business to move out of their residences. Otherwise, you will be fined and told to go back home. So it's very strict here right now, and most in other states of India, they have a lockdown in place.
Mr. Ambassador, there are about a little under 2,000 Filipinos. Am I correct there? No, and the report was that as of yesterday there were 2 deaths, and today 1 death. Is that correct? Can you confirm that? And without naming them, can you give us a little bit background on them? What was their, what work did they do there in India?
Well, Pia, there are only 2 deaths that have occurred in this week. Not 3. This was a few days ago. Both of them are middle manager officials. They're not in the classic definition of an OFW, and they have their employers who are taking care of their needs and requirements, and are handling their remains for proper burial and eventual return back to the Philippines. So just 2. No, very sadly, we just had 2. And as was stated before, this particular double mutant strain, this virus is very deadly and highly contagious, highly transmissible. Last year, people were kind of easy because if you get hit, it's a mild attack and you survive. This virus right now, you get hit like one of the Filipinos that passed away. He got COVID April 23, and April 26 he passed away. So it's very sudden. It's treacherous. It's very sad, no, that these things have to happen. And this is what happened to the 2 Filipino managers that succumbed to the virus.
All right, so 2 Filipino managers, and like you said, thank you, sir, Mr. Ambassador, for that correction. So 2 deaths in the Filipino community there in India. We did ask about the staff in the Philippine Embassy, sir, your staff, because there were reports also about some infections in the staff of the U.S. Embassy. We understand foreign nationals, foreign diplomats in this case, are included in the immunization, in the vaccination program, sir. So kayo po halimbawa,
Yes,
nabakunahan na po kayo?
yes, Pia. Most embassies here right now are closed, and most of them have had their local staff, the Indians who work with them as gardeners, security, health, etc., have been affected by this, no? And we're not the only one who have closed the embassy. They also have closed their embassies, and fortunately, with the Indian government, they opened up the vaccination program for all people here in India, whether you are a citizen, a diplomat, or a foreigner. Of course, they started out, I think it was February, for the frontline workers. And then last week of March, they opened it to people who are 45 years old and above. And now on May 1, they will open it to those who are 18 years old and above. So far, they have vaccinated about 155 million people. No? Now, having a population of 1.3 billion people here in India, so that's a little bit over 10%, I think, that have been vaccinated. They've started at a very accelerated pace, but right now, because of all these developments, there has been a slowdown. But still, 155 million, 150 million citizens is quite a peak. On my part, I took the first jab last April 2, and I'm due to get my second jab June 1st. And so with the other staff members here in the embassy.
Vaccine was, oh, kayo po, Ambassador, what kind of a vaccine did you get? Covaxin po ba?
Hindi pwede sabihin kasi the other vaccine the manufacturers would not want me to comment on that. So I hope you understand. It's just enough that I took the vaccine last April 1 and I will take the follow-up on June 1st.
Okay. Yesterday, I was speaking to CNN's Anna Coren, and she was pointing out how ironic it is that you have India, the world's biggest manufacturer of vaccines, well, you know, umabot na sa scenario na nagma-mass cremation. There's a COVID wave going on there. What is the vaccine situation like there, sir? A while ago you said 155 million, but you have a 1 billion plus population. You know, there are similar concerns here in the Philippines, no? Paano tayo makakahabol para umabot tayo doon sa herd immunity na kailangan? Doon naman po sa India, what is the situation like?
No, just to be accurate, 150 million have been vaccinated, and they have enough vaccines here. In spite of the fact that they donated over 66 million vaccines worldwide last year, no? They did not expect this to happen. But for the record, India has enough vaccines for all their citizens. The manufacturer of Covaxin, Bharat Biotech, was given funds. They were lent funds by this government to double their production. Same thing with Serum Institute of India, who is the #1 vaccine manufacturer in the world, not just for COVID, but for tetano, polio, measles, etc. Were also given funds to double their production. So if both of them are manufacturing, let's say 80 million vaccines a month, this will now be, or 20 million vaccines a month, this will now be doubled or almost tripled to 70 to 80 million vaccines a month. So they have enough. But in spite of that, they have allowed Sputnik of Russia to distribute this Sputnik vaccine. And they did it with, they fast-tracked it in 3 days. All the regulatory requirements were complied with. But this is just a gesture of Russia in providing this vaccine. But the India itself has enough. And in this instance, I hope I can say this. We have an order for Covaxin to be shipped to the Philippines after all the regulatory requirements are complied with, hopefully by the last week of May or for the first week of June. So that's 8 million doses on a tripartite basis. In other words, it's a supplier, the selected LGUs there, and the private sector led by Joey Concepcion. And then the Serum Institute arrangement that Secretary Galvez handled when he was here last month, they worked out 30 million doses of vaccines with Novavax. So this is a tie-up with Serum Institute and Novavax of the United States. And Secretary Galvez was able to make an arrangement for 30 million for the Philippines, but this will still be sometime in September. I hope that with all the regulatory compliances in place, they can deliver this. And we have the assurances of the Indian government because they have not imposed an export ban on vaccines. They have imposed an export ban on remdesivir, but not on vaccines. So we hope that once this is available,
Mhm.
we will ask the permission of the good Indian government and send it over to the Philippines.
Well, that's good news, both on the Indian and on the Indian front, and also yung binabalita niyo po sa amin tungkol sa vaccines. Pero sana nga mapaaga, Mr. Ambassador. I wanted to ask one more question, but we've run out of time. About well, the political atmosphere there. We hear it's quite interesting also, given the COVID scenario there. But Mr. Ambassador Ramon Bagatsing Jr., Philippine Ambassador to India, sir, thank you very much for taking time to spend tonight with us. And please stay safe, sir. Salamat po, sir.